Let's start off with Caitlin Murray. Go ahead, Caitlin.
Hi, VLATKO. Thanks for taking the time.
Hey.
The Federation hosts a lot of games in the U.S. for a lot of reasons, including obvious commercial reasons. But nothing can replicate, being on the road, having hostile fans. It sounds like you're going to have a big crowd in Sydney. So how do you find that balance? Playing games at home and away, and trying to make that work in the calendar. And how does the pandemic fit into it? Do you think you'll be able to travel as much into the future?
Yeah, so first I have to say that nothing can compare to the atmosphere and the, the atmosphere and the venues and everything that we experience in the states. I mean, it's always nice to play in front of our fans. It's always nice to hear them, and it's always nice to have them support us. Now, with that being said, it is important that we travel outside of the country. We experience a little bit of adversity. We experience an environment where the opponents have that advantage or have that support. I think that it's important that not just we experience something like that, but we experience it in a venue or in the country that will be one of the hosts for the next big event or the World Cup 2023. So hopefully in the future we're going to be able to do that a little bit more often, or more often than we were in the last 18 months or so. And I think it is important, and especially for players that have never been they've never experienced something like that before.
Excellent. Let's go back to Dominic from Sydney Morning Herald. Go ahead, Dominic.
Good day, Vlaco. Thanks for taking the time. Look, last time you played Australia, it was a very high-scoring affair, and the leader of that forward line is in arguably even hotter form now. Sam Kerr enters this in red-hot form. What do you think the key is to stopping a player like Sam Kerr?
I mean, first and foremost, Sam Curry is definitely one of the best players, one of the best strikers in the world, and this is not a case in recent past. That's been the case for years now. She's an incredible player, and I wish I can say if we do this, we're gonna stop Sam Kerr, but it just doesn't work like that. She's so dynamic and so unpredictable that no matter what you do, she always figures out a way to make it harder for you, or to make it tougher. But in same time, that's what we want. I mean, we want to play against the best, especially with a young team like we have now. It's important that we experience and play against some of the best players in the world, so we can gauge and evaluate properly.
Thank you, sir. Let's go to Michael Saunders down in Orlando. Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, hi, Blackbelt. Thanks for taking the call.
Yep.
You played Australia 2 games in the Olympics, as the gentleman before mentioned. One was a very high-scoring game. But this is the beginning of the transition for your team. And as I look at the roster, I see that a lot of the transition is trying out some of our forward line. What are your overall expectations starting in this new era, if you will, for the team playing arguably one of the best teams in the world in Australia?
Yes, this was not a coincidence. We wanted to test right off the bat. We wanted to test the players that are in this environment now against some of the best players, and we wanted to test them in such an adversity that we're gonna have here, long travel, jet lag after a long year, NWSL year, against a great team. 40,000 people at the stadium. I think that very quick into the game, we'll find out who is cut out for this and who is not.
Thank you, sir. Let's go to Jonathan Tannenwald. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Thanks, Aaron. Hello, VLATKO. Hope all is well down there. We know that obviously there were a lot of protocols that went through to make this happen, some things that you had to do when you got onto the ground in Australia before you could get out on the field. How much have you been able to get out on the field so far and practice? And what have you seen? And perhaps might you let us know if there are certain players you're particularly looking forward from your team to seeing in this game?
Yes. So first, I have to say there are a lot of protocols that we had to follow, and I'm very thankful for our administration office, Ryan Dell heading that, and Kate Margraves for making this trip happen for us. Like I said, it's an important trip, and it wasn't easy to organize it. So we're very thankful for that. Now we came here and we only had one walkthrough on the field and one short training. Tonight, actually, right after this is where we're gonna have a full proper training, and hopefully after this we're gonna have a little better idea of where the players are at.
You added Amani Dorsey to the group since we last talked to you, and I'm curious, you might tell us a little bit about why you did that and what you hope from it.
Yes, so a couple of things. First, we felt like Imani has done well in the league. She has proved that she's definitely someone that deserves a look, or if at the very least deserves to experience this environment or get a taste of this environment a little bit more. The other thing is Emily Fox, who also plays in that position, is not 100% ready. So we do want to have another option in that spot.
Thank you. Let's go. We have one more. Let's go to Alex Ozzie to finish up with VLATKO. Go ahead, Alex.
Hey, VLATKO, thanks for taking the time. Hope you'll excuse me for asking about a player not involved in the game, but Brazilian soccer great Formiga is playing her last match tomorrow, I think it is, after 7 Olympics. Curious just if you have any memories or thoughts as she concludes her career.
I mean, I don't know if there is anyone that follows or has been involved in women's soccer that doesn't have memories of Formiga. She's been involved in several generations of coaches, players, and I didn't think that she'll ever retire. I mean, she just kept going. You know, if you watch her play 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and now, you don't see any difference. Such a legend and. Great player and role model for many players that have gone through not just the Brazilian Federation, but also players that have played against Brazil in different occasions.
Excellent. Thanks, Alex. Thanks, VLATKO. Want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. We'll let VLATKO go off to training.
Yep. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.